No such thing as being too prepared, especially for week 1 of the NFL season 2019. It's right around the corner. Now, usually, teams that have a new head coach coming in, a quarterback returning from injury, an all-pro wide receiver, a lot of excitement around that team. Not so much for the Cincinnati Bengals. They head to Seattle to face the newly paid Russell Wilson, those run-happy Seahawks, and they're 8-point underdogs.
Yeah, we can't feel the excitement here in Cincinnati, at least, right? and Seattle, even though Seattle's a great home field advantage, this is still saying that Seattle's 4.5, 5 points better than the Bengals for a team that sort of squeaked into the playoffs versus another team that has, a new coach, as you said, a quarterback coming back from injury. That's a heavy price.
Okay, so we're going to split these up. The underdog Bengals, why do they cover?
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals have a lot going for them offensively, right? Tyler Boyd quietly had a 1,000-yard season in A.J. Green's stead. A.J. Green's one of the best receivers in the NFL. Dalton, a top 15 quarterback by our grades prior to injury last season. And Tyler Eifert, Joe Mixon, they're good players. So the Bengals offense has a lot going for it. It was their defense last season that was so bad. And if they even get a little bit of regression in the mean, they got William Jackson III. He's a solid player. Jesse Bates had a really good season as a safety. I think we're going to be undervaluing the Bengals defense moving forward here.
8 is a lot of points. And yes, those Seahawks love to run the ball. In fact, way too much. But here's the thing. They just paid Russell Wilson. So I think some of those runs may turn into passes pretty quickly. Let me give you an example here. On 2nd and longs, the Seahawks ran more than any other team in the NFL. Almost 50% of the time, they handed it off instead of dropping back to pass. And that's a big issue because on drives with a 2nd and long, teams that ran it at least once on that 2nd and long scored a touchdown 3% less of the time. That's huge. So that's something that if the Seahawks just get back to giving the ball to their best player a little bit more, can really help that offense take off. And here's another thing. That offensive line is getting better. Russell Wilson has been a top 5 to 7 quarterback, a top 5 guy from a clean pocket, pretty much every year he's been in the NFL with an offensive line that couldn't block you and I rushing off the edge. So those things improving, some better play calling, and then here's the kicker. Andy Dalton, he's definitely a worse quarterback than Russell Wilson. Zach Taylor, he's a new head coach. They have to communicate in the link. It is going to be loud. I like the better quarterback with a more stable system in week 1. Even by 8, this could get ugly pretty quickly. The Bengals might take a little while to gel. For more, stick with us. Head to pff.com. Get yourself an elite subscription and follow along as we head into 2019.